Well, it's just too hot to even, it's too hot to even walk around. Whew, I'm dying here. I guess nobody's sitting on pins and needles waiting for me to pop in. Oh, well, it is a little late. What's it about? 9:30, 9:40, quarter to 10. Yeah, it's late. I'm normally open. I'm open 10 to 4. I just wanted to stop in this morning and say hello. And nobody's coming in. So let's see. Well, Lance is here. Hi, Lance. You're number one, Lance. Number one in my book. And Howard. Hi, Howard. Nice to see you. Oh, it's too hot to walk around. Akina tropical. Akina. Hello, hello. Mary Page. Hi, Mary Page. I had to go out and buy a fan this morning to get a little air. I'm sitting in a corner here. I've got an AC in this little room, but it blows straight out that way. So the fan will bring it over to me a little bit. So I'm sitting here trying to cool off of it. I walked in and it just started dripping. Oh, everything looks okay. Frank spent the night. So I don't know what that's all about or why. He had several options and chose not to take any of them. So I don't know what's going on yet this morning. Things were a little chaotic when I walked in. So we'll see when he decides to get up. I woke him up, tell him I needed the fan. I didn't get it, so I went up and bought one. So I now have a fan blowing on me a little bit. Oh, I think my brain is in melt status. But nothing much is happening up there. Peter and Roxanne. Hello, Peter and Roxanne. Nice to see you guys. Oh, so it's deadly hot here. Betsy came in. What a trooper. This woman is amazing. Betsy is a volunteer. She comes in for love of the animals and takes care of them every morning. Every morning. She's here for about an hour. And it's just as faithful and dependable as she can be. So God bless her. I'd be in serious trouble without her. Do you try at the end of the mud turtle dirted tank? With all my turtle, I use Phalasteria, Red Lotus, and Microsorium. Do I try at the end? Do I do well? I don't know. I guess the question's about plants. I tend not to actually because I don't put mud turtles typically in with fish. They're just a bit too aggressive. We got a little tiny one the other day, and he's in the turtle tank, which I guess I can show you. Let me go online here. Save. I see another member of the Glee Club has disappeared. Oh, okay. What am I doing? Wednesday? That ain't right. Channel. Fifth day of the week. There we are. Okay. So what I need to do now is I need to go back over here to the dock and copy that thing. So what I need to do now is put it here and headset in. Go back over here to the dock and copy that thing. So what I need to do now is put it here and headset in. Go back over here to the dock. It forms a loop, doesn't it? To copy. Okay. It forms a loop, doesn't it? Okay. Let's see, and it should come up. Enter the studio. There it is.
And there I am.
I think maybe I just saw it. Let's see. Okay. I've got the computer volume turned up. But that's really not going to help much. And it looks like I just jumped out of everything. I don't know. I think I'm not going to do this. Enter studio. Next stage. What I was going to do
I wanted to show you the turtle display and frog. We put a little animal in here, but I'm sure we'll never see him again. Anyhow, this is what I've got my mud turtle in. Can't see much. But it's a cool display. See what it looks like. And each of these glass panels slide out. and they're double. So there it is. Betsy's back here feeding all the animals. Everybody's okay, I think. So I'm just going to go back on here. Go back on here. Get off my phone. And chat a little bit.
Good. I think it's going. Put the volume back on. And I'm back. And what's happening? Let's see. Where am I? I'm in the dock. Let's get over to YouTube. Mary Page says Betsy rocks. I really want that little turtle. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're really fun. Mary Page, EMO, the fish keeper. Hello, hello, and God bless you. I see aggression only with quarries that have mud musk, sting pot, and mud. Wow. Nice. Yeah, I'm in with fish. I have a supplier here who breeds matas, and he's got babies every year. I've yet to spring for one. Gershon Lamogdon. Hi, Gershon. Watching from the Philippines. Very cool. I'm too close together. Yeah. Threw it up. Turn volume off on. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I finally just turned the phone off, turned the volume off on the computer. I couldn't find the. Oh, I knew how to do it. I'm just too stupid to do it. That's all. One gadget without the echo, right? Yeah, that was Nazi. What kind of mud turtle? Don't know. It's a baby, and I can't tell. It's not a 3-line. It's no markings on it. Father Fish, I'm with you, says Mary Page. I'm figuring out this computer stuff. I think I'm doing good just making comments, trying to figure out the rest. I know it's hopeless. And my problem is I have to relearn stuff every day because I forgot what I learned yesterday. Jordanella has 4 common musks. They're cool little turtles. I really like them. You can see it good. Yeah, it's a really wonderful display. Rainier, Washington, EMO. Good to see you. Indeed considered a father in this hobby of mine, says Gershon. Well, thank you so much. Coming from the Philippines. That's wonderful. I catch my fish. And EMO, good morning. Jordanella, my common musk, we're living with South American cichlids and Mexican live bearers. I moved the South Americans because they were aggressive to the turtles. They're too slow to catch the others. That's interesting. So it's really not anything I ought to worry about. Yeah, I like them, and I think mud turtles will be cool in the tank. Maybe I'll try that little one. Find a place to put them. Maybe put them in the. I know where I could put them. I could put them in the black water tank, the big black water tank. That would be cool. Oh dear. So, not doing much of a walkabout today. I got in here, kind of got beat up yesterday. It was fun. Had a really good time. Um, but wound up just, like I said, beat up. There was Mary Page. Oh, I think I need to go back to bed. I am nappy. I wasn't going to come on because my brain's not turned on. But I figured I really ought to, at least for a few minutes, just to say hello to my faithful followers. Many of them are here. Dan Wutch from Ohio. Hello, hello. Did we find a lot of shrimp yesterday? Yeah, we absolutely did. We found Neocaridina. We're open. Neocaridina black, some blue, and some red and or orange. So yes, we did find a bunch of shrimp yesterday. And I don't know, Frank was going to separate them all. Um, I think there's more to the story than I've been told, but I will learn it soon enough. It's okay. You've been working hard all week. Jordanella needs a nap too. We will nap together. Gershon. Mary. Right. Says hi, Mary. I know. It really surprised us. We were there, oh, it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Um, and all of a sudden started catching them and really surprised. Well, I'm sure they've escaped and established. Um, there are a couple of farms in the immediate area, one of which is Andre's Bioaquatics, and he's big on shrimp. So that's a possibility. We've only checked the one spot, so we don't know if they're really endemic or if it's just a localized population that escaped into the wild and has established itself. That's my hunch, but we'll learn more as we go along. There is more of this creek we're going to look at. Oh, Jordanella takes strategic naps when her manager is not around. How are you getting? Oh, how much am I getting for the discus? Dwayne Sousa. I have two sizes. I've got 1.5 inch. Those are, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't think. I'm going to have to look up the. I've got larger ones. I've got 3 inches. Those are 50. And the smaller ones are 35. So they're 35 and 50. The smaller ones I have red, which is like the candy apple red. There's some starlight blues, and I think a yellow. The larger ones uh, are all reds. Yes,
The lady's looking for some of the bigger goldfish with the bulging eyes. Do we have any left? We had some.
we don't have any with a bulging eye. We've got some that are kind of squatting around.
Yeah,
Show her those in that tank, that 55 gallon.
I did.
I've got a few. That's not what she wants.
She wants, you know,
She wants the bubble eye.
the bubble eyes.
I don't have any bubble eyes,
Okay.
but I will tell her I'll get them.
Okay.
I've got other people asking for them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome.
Cute little girl comes in looking for a bubble eye goldfish. Kirsten, I bought angelfish 5 days ago. First time to have them. Any tips to make them happy? Angels are pretty easy. Oh, that's with anything, just don't overfeed. Main thing is to never overfeed. Always underfeed a fish. Always feed a fish less than you think it wants. You want to leave it hungry. A hungry fish is a healthy fish. So long as they're hungry and looking for food, they're in the prime of health. It's when they stop doing that that they're either sick or sick. So don't overfeed your fish. Makes them sick. What size are they? Your angels? How big are they? In inches or centimeters or whatever. Peter and Roxanne like to try keeping Neocaridina. Yes, we'll get some in.
You will? Okay.
For sure.
Okay. I'll come back. Thank
All right.
you.
I have well water with an average 250 pH 80. It's perfect. They'll do just fine. The Neos can tolerate harder water, so they'll be okay. As to the angels, there's really nothing special. Just keep your tank clean. They like, or I like, angel tanks with plants because they just look so dramatic swimming around plants, particularly like Vallisneria or Sagittarius or something tall that grows to the top. Somebody's on the phone here. Father Fish. Hello.
Hi, Father. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, that was interesting. Either she or I hit the off button. I don't think I did, but maybe she did. Maybe I did. Let me try to call her back. She's not calling back. It's probably leaving a message or something. No, okay, it dropped off. She can't leave a message.
Hello.
Hi, did you just call Father Fish?
Oh, hi. Yes, I did.
Hi.
I'm sorry. It went to Bluetooth and I couldn't figure that out before I got to you.
Okay.
I was wondering, perchance, do you have any female German rats?
Yeah, I do.
That is wonderful. I'd like to come down and get one and maybe get some live plants. And I want to get some of black sand too. You got the best black sand.
I'm gonna have to get some more. I'm out right now. Let me see if I can get it today. Might be able to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but now if you want to wait for until tomorrow, I've got a big order of really nice plants, fancy plants coming
Oh,
in
really?
tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
being shipped by mail, so I don't know what time it'll be delivered, but probably by
Right.
mid-morning.
I have to work tomorrow, so
Ah.
I won't be able to.
Well, I got lots of stuff here. Come on over, and I will try to
I'll
get.
take a look.
I'll try to get the sand for you.
Oh, thank you.
You bet.
I'll see you. Bye.
Let's see what a female ram. We can do that. PMO, my prize betta got hair algae wrapped around his eye, and when I went to free him, he jumped and pulled his eye out. Good Lord. Hair algae wrapped around his eye, and it pulled his eye out. That sounds utterly bizarre. Well, there's not much you can do about it. He will survive with one eye. Lots of fish survive with one eye. It's not going to prevent him from living a normal, happy life. He just won't look at you the same way. Oh dear, that is wild. Never heard of that one. Anton Slaver from South Africa. It's four in the afternoon there. Hello, hello. Gershon. Somebody has babies. Who has babies? Rick Coy. Hi, Rick. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm having trouble getting you here. What's going on? Hold on a second. Good grief. There we go. Gotcha.
Okay.
Hi, what's up?
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? I'm glad you called. I need to talk to you a little bit.
Okay. I got a question for you.
Okay.
We're going to be photographing a lot of different kinds of fish from mollies, platies, and tails, you name it. I'm going to be taking a really big photographing operation.
Cool.
We're not set up to hold or keep any of the fish. Is there some sort of way that we're going to deal with you where I could sell the fish to you 50% of what I paid for them?
And do what?
If I bought like let's just use this for an example, 25 mollies from Seekers, right? The mollies cost 50 cents each, right?
Sure.
I'm not set up to keep for hold and sell. I'm going to do a boatload of fishing one day. It's different. There might be 30 or 40 different kinds of fish, random numbers, random everything, and me sell them to you for 50.
Okay. Oh, you're just doing it in order to be able to get pictures. Got it. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, well, it'll help. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. My question is the worms. I managed to lose them all by day 2.
Gosh.
They didn't make it overnight. I put them all in water, had circulating water, but they started dying almost immediately and found the water. It's a couple of probably 500 gallons and found the whole thing. You know, I saved a little bit. I saved maybe a pound or two, but basically it didn't work. So
Yeah, we don't use any when they come in and stuff. We don't use any recirculating water. We're only using fresh water, and they're probably getting So say for instance, they're in a concrete burial vault that's 240 gallons and filled to the floor that. They're probably getting that much fresh water every 1 to 3 hours.
That's kind of what I figured. So I can't do that.
They're definitely not on a recirc. But I will say this: I'm going to try at the 70 facility a recirc system with worms. Seagrass keeps all their worms in a recirc system. But you always say when you get Mars and Seagrass, they're not. So that makes
Well, sometimes they do, but they'll hold up too. I mean, they're
Okay.
not as good as yours,
yeah, which
but
is
they
interesting,
but they
They're
will
the same
hold
place.
up.
Yeah, they're from the same guy.
Yeah, right.
The problem
Yeah, I
is
know. Just a matter of holding. Right.
That's interesting. I don't necessarily know, but that's the way we run fresh water. I think that the build system hold them. So I can't run that much fresh water.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to hold off for a little while
Okay.
until I get some way to figure this out.
Photos.
Okay.
When I figure out the plan for the photos, I'll be stuff too.
All right. Great. All right.
I'll have more detail.
Okay. Thanks. You bet. All right. Bye bye. Well, I cut that off because I thought it might need to be private, but it was fine. This is a fellow who does online sales, fish online, and he's setting up a photographic project, photography project, where he's just going to be shooting pictures of lots and lots of fish. So he's going to get them in, shoot the picture, and then he needs to get them out. He wanted to know if I would buy the fish from him at half his wholesale. So I agreed to do that. And then we talked about worms a bit, which I'm having trouble with, and kind of figured out why. Might be able to do this with smaller portions or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Our little girl just walked in. How are you? I fed him 2 little tiny mice, and he bit Frank twice the other day. He bit Frank twice the other day. Just so I think he's not what we thought he was. I think we got lucky with you that he didn't bite you. But Frank could have been kind of going in there like that after him too. So I don't know. I need to just get rid of him. It's an aggressive snake, and I don't want to have an aggressive snake around because of it. Yeah, right. Well, not that one. So EMO, that's a dreadful situation. You put a little salt in the water, make sure he doesn't get infected. Probably won't, but it's a good idea to check it.
What?
I'm online. I've got a live broadcast. Hi, Bill Witt. Pardon? Yeah, start working on the tanks. There was a group of them, the bettas on this side, the top row of bettas.
Oh, yeah, those.
Clean those and fill them.
Hello.
The hose is right there. It's right there on the right. You'll see it
I can put water
on a pipe. Put water in it from that hose. Lisa, congratulations to everyone that won last night. Something I obviously missed out on. Gershon, I've planted plants. Take note of your advice to underfeed them. Hearing you on that. I know I've been doing it wrong. Thank you. The main thing is you don't want to create a bacterial environment in the tank. It's easy to do that. And that's where problems begin. All right, I want to move through all this. Fish Pappy, good morning. How are you? Aquarium Cop. Mary Page won a gift card last night. Let's see. I'm feeling some better. Thank you. Yes, Frank Page. Yeah, he'll be all right. EMO. He'll be fine. Lisa, this hospital is a madhouse. I definitely can't get better here. I need a spot. Yeah, that's the truth. I hear that. Manish is here. Hello, Manish. Crime Cop Father. Snakes were fed with tweezers and trained to strike what enters. Does not mean it's aggressive. It was trained to grab object. I understand. I think that's true. This is a ball python. And I do notice that when Frank relates to snakes, he relates to them in a way that promotes their aggression. I've never, ever, ever been bitten by a ball python, but I don't try to grab them by the head either, or stick my hand up to their face. Mary Page won a $50 gift card. Wow, cool. That'd be fun, Lisa. That would be fun. Oh, Ro is up. Hello, Ro. I trust you're well and better. Heritage Aaron. Here's my landlord. Hello. Good. How are you? Okay. Well, I messed up last month on the partial. I don't know quite how it did that. It should have been 1350 or so, and it was 1035. So I got behind on that. Oh, all right. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I've got it. My problem is like if I send you the rent right now, then I'm flat broke. So I'm trying to build up a little bit of cushion. 500 or $1,000 or so. Today's Thursday. I will definitely get a check in the mail Monday. And that'll be for the full month's rent. And I'll try to include that what was it, 235? 269. Okay. I will make an effort to include that as well. So it'll be the further is back forward. Got it. So the total for the two would be like $3,000, 27 plus the 260, the 360. 2769 plus. That'd be 34. 2932. Okay, great. I'll get a check in the mail Monday for that. I may just put it in tomorrow so you can have it first of the week. Thank you. Okay. You bet. Thank you. My landlord has helping me get through this COVID thing. I've spread out a couple of months' rent over 50% a month. Would you recommend water changes even in a heavy planted aquarium with no filter and no aerator? Let's talk about this water change thing a bit. I don't do routine water changes like every week or every month or whatever. I don't do that. I do water changes as needed. And they are needed when something goes wrong with the water. Obviously, if it gets cloudy or if the fish get sick or there's something like that going on, then a water change is called for. And typically in a crisis situation like that, I'll do a 50% water change and then look at it the next day. And if it's still a problem, another 50%. I haven't had to do that in a very, very, very long time, but it does happen. I don't do it with ick because the cure for ick is just frankly too simple. The cure for ick is simply raise the temperature to 86 degrees. That kills the ick in basically 24 hours. If you leave it up for 2 days, then you'll be sure to get whatever eggs were laid that hatched that need to be killed. Goodness sakes, Aquarium Cop just gave us 25 bucks. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I would say it's much. That's deeply appreciated. So water changes. The reason I don't do routine water changes is because there's really no point. If the water is healthy and the fish are healthy and everything is fine, why change it? If you're getting a routine buildup of nitrates, for example, then you're not adequately balanced. You're either overfeeding or you're underplanted or your substrate is not adequate to deal with the chemistry of the water.
A net and one changes.
A net in the tank,
Yeah.
take it out. Yeah.
After that, I need that.
Good. You did all the betas?
I'm gonna work it out.
Yes, thank you.
This week,
This tank didn't bite me. No. Bit Frank. Right. Hey, good. How are you? No. He's gonna bite you. Yeah, don't do it. I'm busy. Busy. Got a little 14-year-old girl who's volunteering with me. Real sweetheart. She's been coming in since she was 7 and has finally developed something of a work ethic. Kind of taken after her mother, I guess. So her mother does house cleaning and is super duper. She's an amazing woman. Now, if you have dramatic rise in nitrates, and by dramatic I mean over 200, then you ought to do a water change. If you suddenly get an ammonia spike, you need to do a water change. But having said that, that doesn't solve the problem. That simply alleviates the result or one of the results of the problem. You need to find the problem. The problem may be that you're overfeeding and that you're building up all this excess nutrition from or excess chemicals from excess nutrition. If your ammonia is up, there's either a dead fish in the tank that you haven't found or you're overfeeding. There are no other options. So water changes become important when the tank is in crisis or when parameters are out of balance. A good example of routine water changes that are called for is feeding baby fish. Baby fish need to be fed a number of times every day. When you do that, you're going to build up waste. You're going to build up ammonia. So it becomes really important to do routine water changes. I usually feed baby fish. If I've got a big bunch of them, I feed them in a bare tank so I can siphon the food off the bottom and in the process take out some of the water. 50% is a good portion, and then replace that water. You want to replace it with seasoned water, typically in a situation like that. You don't want to put raw water in because it can injure the fish. So I guess the rule of thumb is if you need to do a water change, that's not all you need to do. You also need to find out what caused the problem that created the need for a water change. Putting salt in planted aquarium, Gerson. Only if there's an absolute need to. Now, having said that, most plants, not all, but most of the popular plants that we have in the hobby are brackish plants. They live in the wild in fresh to brackish conditions. So they can tolerate salt and in fact may even appreciate a little salt. There are exceptions. The exceptions, for example, include the Potagetes, which are rainwater, deep jungle pond plant. But plants like swords, Vallisneria, Sagittarius, the thick stalk plants, Bacopa, all of those, Ludwigia, all of those can tolerate salt. I only do salt as needed. Thank you, Betsy.
Do you need any more mice?
I guess, can we get adults? Do they have them?
I'm sure they do. I'll look.
See if you can get a couple, and
Okay.
I'll pay you for them. I'll
No worries.
reimburse you. Thank you. Thank you. So if your tank is stable, if you've got a deep sand bed, lots of plants, not too many fish, are feeding reasonably, and by reasonably, I mean 10% of what you think they need, then you're not going to need to do water changes. Nothing is going to happen in there that's going to be a problem. It's when your husbandry skills go out the window that you need to do water changes. That ain't true 100% of the time, only about 99. Aquarium Cop, I don't have an LFS, so believes in supporting. Well, thank you, and do put an order in for Get Gills. We have a website. It's being worked on. We're getting there. It's going to take a little while, but we're going to have a website. There's no water in there, but there is some of this, some zero. You can get one of those. Oh, Jagan Aquarium. Hello, hello, Ro. I would check. Where'd it go? Water quality once a week for a new tank, but not so often for an established tank. good rule of thumb, with a new tank, you never know what's happening. Particularly if there's anything sketchy about it. Not inferring anything at all, bro. Just saying. Aquarium cup. I top off, I don't water change. Now, top off is interesting. The issue with top off is you are putting if you're using, for example, if you're topping off with well water or with hard alkaline water, then you eventually will achieve the level of the Dead Sea because all of those minerals are staying in there. They're getting higher and higher and higher to the point where you may have difficulty keeping new fish alive. If you're topping off, it's a good idea to top off with RO water, unless your water is soft and acidic, or at least not very hard. You will build up. Now, I've got tanks that have a hardness level of 450 and 500. It never causes a direct problem, but I found what does happen is the nitrate level begins to really soar. I've had some nitrate as high as 700 and 800, like bad. You get an acid burn, a nitrate burn, a soap burn, if you will, just sticking your hand in the water. So topping off with RO water is a good idea. Ro woke up early to watch us, and I wasn't here. Well, we're glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better, Ro. Rhett said you were not doing well yesterday. We need you hale and hearty, and we're not the only ones. You got a crew there that needs you hale and hearty. Chris, my fish were always sick and not dropping fry. Changed the father sand method and so much better. Also cut down on feeding to every other day. Yeah, just don't feed twice as much every other day. Feed half as much every other day. And then cut that in half, and then cut that in half. One of the things with live bears in particular, and tetras, little fish, that the hobbyist is typically not aware of is that the tank creates food for the fish living in it. It isn't always adequate, although I rarely have had fish get sick and die from starvation. The only time that's happened is if they were strict insectivores or only ate live fish, other fish. And then, then you can see failure more quickly. But for tetras, live bearers, most of the community fish that we have, that tank is producing food and they're nibbling on it all the time. That when you see them nibbling, they're not looking for food, they're feeding. They have found food and they're eating it. So it's not just that they're hungry, it's that they are feeding. Your tank is feeding them. Try to think about that. Try to understand that as you go along with your well-established tank, and you'll begin to realize that your tank really needs very, very little from you in order to be perfectly healthy and happy and balanced. It does take a long time for fish to starve, JM. And again, you're right, unless they're young fry. And young fry need fish right away. They have no reserves built up. But fish can live a very, 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 very long time with no apparent food at all. I had a 4-inch Jack Dempsey flop into a tank on the floor. I've told the story before. In an old fish room. The tank was a quarter of it got a little bit of sunlight, direct sunlight exposure. I didn't know it happened. I didn't pay attention to it. That tank sat on the floor for a year. I got back to it, and that fish, which had been in that tank for a year, was hale and hearty, healthy as could be. I did not put one iota of food in that tank for a year. But there was algae in there, and there undoubtedly were insects falling into it. So he was getting food. Coffee. Peter and Roxanne, are you sure they weren't stressed on the journey? Got infected afterwards. A treatment doesn't kill. Hey, Bob, how are you? Good to see you. This is my koi guy. We're doing a live stream. Yeah. Hi. Did you bring koi with you?
I'll bring him next week if you do.
Okay, yeah, I do. I'm virtually out, down to nothing. Big ones too. If you can spare big ones.
Medium size probably.
Okay, okay. How are you doing?
Good, good.
What's up?
Just go say hi.
I got a snake if you want it, a ball python.
Hey,
If she wants a ball python, right around the corner. Oh, all right. Well, thought it might work. Oh, let's see. Want to see what this is. Celestial pearl danios. No, been a hard time getting them. Right with columnaris. Oh dear. Let's see. Oh, the columnaris. Yeah, that could have been treated, but they may have been too far gone too. If they died in 2 days, they were pretty far gone. The wood. Figured out why your fish were dying was the wood. Yeah, driftwood is a funny thing. You cannot use green wood. It has to be wood that is so well aged that it doesn't bleed out at all. There's nothing in it. I've had wood brought to me that I thought was really good and seasoned, and it was not. It was full of sap. Um, I don't put branches in typically unless they're so old and dry that there isn't any possibility of there being anything in them. I like broken pieces of wood anyway, simply because it looks better. And stuff that's been in the sea or in a creek is worn and has a lot more character. So you just make sure you're putting very old water in, a very old wood that's very well worn. Let's see, ocean from Puerto Rico, but it wasn't treated properly. Don't know what that's referring. Oh, the wood. Yeah, well, that's right. And my belief is you cannot create, at least not in a reasonable way, can you create driftwood. Driftwood, the kind of driftwood I get in, has been in the water or laying on the land for literally years, not a few months, not a year, but a number of years. So much so that, and it's almost always hardwood because softwood simply deteriorates. But hardwood, um, I'll show you some. I'll bring some in and show it to you. Right, where are we? Where are we here? Why would Guppy stop dropping fry, but keep getting bigger. I have one tank with 2 females that dropped fry 2 months ago, but not now. It can take 3 and 4 months. A lot of it has to do with temperature. If your temperature is down in the 70s, it can take 2 or 3 months. If it's in the 80s, it'll be, yes. If it's in the 80s, they'll do better. But fish don't routinely drop every month. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with temperature. Also has to do with nutrition. The fish will grow based on the nutrition that's available in them. I mean, the embryo. So there are other factors that affect how often a fish will drop babies. I've seen swords hold them for 6 months. And then they were fine. Name and shame them on social media. No reason for any fish seller to send fish that sick. Not like you wouldn't be able to see it. Well, yeah, there is that. You need to get back to the supplier and make sure they're going to make good on it. All right. I think we're down to the end here. We're running pretty late. It's 11:15. We've been here well over an hour. I thank you for plugging in, guys. Make sure you hit the like button before we get out of here. We got 40 people online, 20 watchers. Do hit the like button, please. Wouldn't shame anyone. Coffee, things happen. Doesn't mean the breeder was neglectful. Yeah, contact the breeder. Talk to them. You want to give them an opportunity to make it right. Thank you, Ro, very much. And we'll be looking forward to catching your streams. Probably a little later in the day. And we'll see you all in the morning. I'll see if I'm in better shape tomorrow. You know, I'm so glad I finally decided to do this. It got me perked up. So I'm feeling so much better. Thank you guys for energizing me. I appreciate you all so very much. Bye-bye for now. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I'm going to get in that. 4, Lisa, get well. 3, God bless all of you. 2, thank you, Michael Kirby. 1, signing off. Where do I sign? There, I sign off. Bye for now.